Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Andy Lamette and this is my pregnancy journey now. I am all about total wellness, so if you're just joining in, I am definitely making this journey one of a fit mind, fit body, and a fit soul. So every week I update you guys on how everything is going now. I haven't updated you guys in 2 weeks, so I have a lot to share. I'm super excited about it. So I will be updating you guys about my diet and my exercise plans and how that's all going. Second, I had my first prenatal care appointment. So I'm really excited to let you guys know how that went, and you'll get to see some live footage of my baby. And also I'm updating you guys on the signs and symptoms that I've been feeling so far during this pregnancy. So I'm gonna cut these videos into 3 parts. So this first one, I'm gonna talk about my prenatal care appointment because I'm just super excited and I want to get to sharing that experience with you guys. So I go into the doctor for my first prenatal care appointment, and first off, they had me take a urine test, and they actually never came back with the results and said, oh yeah, you're pregnant. But I mean, I wasn't worried anyway. I already knew I was pregnant. Just because I took a home test. Actually, me and my son did 5 of the homemade pregnancy tests with the baking soda, toothpaste, sugar, salt, and bleach. And that was a fun thing in itself. So if you want to check that out, look at that video because that also happened this week. So yeah, I took the urine test at the doctor, and then they did my vitals. Now, I was first off a little bit shocked to hear that my blood pressure was 103/70. It's usually right around 120/80, but then I recalled during pregnancy the blood pressure does drop, so that's normal. So we get in the office, and it was really exciting because I was able to bring my husband and my 7-year-old son with me. So it was a family experience. And we get in there, we see the doctor, and first off, he tells me that he looked at my history and everything looks great. He's not worried about me and this pregnancy because I don't have diabetes, I don't have high blood pressure, I'm pretty healthy, I have healthy habits, and everything seems to be going well so far. So that's good news in itself. And we talked about risks. So my only risk factor is that I am over 35. I'm 37. I guess 37 and a half now that it's January 2020. Happy New Year. He said that, for one, he recommends me getting the genetic test, which me and my husband already discussed. We already have that genetic test planned and scheduled for January 15th, which is in about 2 weeks. So he was happy. We're on top of that because when you're older, your risk for having a child with genetic abnormalities goes up. So we're taking care of that. And then he also said that the risk for miscarriage will greatly reduce after I pass 20 weeks of pregnancy. So that is our next goal, is to get past this 20 weeks. So after that, we did kind of discuss the delivery, and I really wanted to talk to him about my history with my last pregnancy. Now, coming in, I already figured I was definitely going to be having another C-section because I did the first time, and it wasn't that I had a huge baby. My first baby was only 5 pounds 11 ounces. It was just that I never continued dilating past, I think, 5 or 6 centimeters. And then when I went into the doctor earlier that day, and the doctor swept my cervix to actually kind of start inducing the labor, she said I had a very narrow vaginal canal. So after hearing that and knowing my experience last time, I'm pretty sure going into this that I'm gonna have a C-section for this pregnancy. What he said was that since I did have the C-section last time and I'm over 35 years old, I can actually just automatically opt to have a C-section at 39 weeks. And he said, you know, that's kind of the least of our worries right now. We have months to think about this and make this decision, because we will make the decision a month out. I continued to talk to him about my history, because not only did I have a C-section, I hemorrhaged after. So I lost a lot of blood. I had to have 2 blood transfusions before I could leave the hospital. So once I told him that, he began to explain more that because I had labored first, and it was an emergency C-section, because I labored for 12 hours, that my uterus was already in distress. So that's why I ended up hemorrhaging. With that being said, I think it's smarter to just go ahead and plan the C-section. I don't want to go into labor and then stress my uterus out and then have that issue with hemorrhaging again, because that was really scary. And I mean, that can be life-threatening when you think about it. And luckily I had some good doctors. My husband was there all the time, so he was able to get help quick. But you know, I don't want to go through that, and I'm really happy my doctor's on top of that. So he also said, since he knows I hemorrhaged last time, he's going to give me medication before we start the surgery, so that my uterus will contract down and I'll be less likely to bleed. So that's already one step we're taking as a precaution for the actual C-section. 2, he said, because of the medication and the uterus is contracting down, you may experience more pain. So what he's going to do is give me an IV and have that ready in case I'm experiencing more pain, to give me more pain medication. So at this point, I'm feeling really confident in this doctor. He's really confident in what he can do, and he seems to know how to deal with the problems I had in the past. So I'm feeling really comfortable with him as my OBGYN. Now, I also let him know that during the C-section, I did feel some pain. And I remember plain as day that I told them I'm still feeling pain, like right in the area of my mom's pubis, like it's not working, the anesthesia. So even back then they gave me more, but it never went away in that area. So he said, oh, because of that, what we can do is make sure you have a little more local anesthesia so that you aren't feeling pain. So I'm just really happy and really finding comfort in the fact that this doctor knows exactly what to do to pre-plan and to make sure this goes as smooth as possible. So I'm really excited. I like my OBGYN, and you know, I was kind of nervous because you never know if you're gonna like your doctor. And I mean, it's an important journey, and it's an important thing that you're putting your care, and when you think about it, your life and your child's life in the hand of this other person. So I like him, my husband likes him. We had all our questions answered and super excited. So I can schedule the C-section at 39 weeks. Now I'm due, based on the measurements of the baby, I'm due July 29th, which is pretty close to what the app said. I'm using this pregnancy app, and it said July 28th. So one day off is pretty good. I may be having this baby around July 21st, which will be 3 days after my birthday. So let's get to the good part. We were all really excited to actually get that ultrasound and see the baby. Like, that is what makes it real, when you finally see it, you hear the heartbeat and all of that. So he breaks out the ultrasound, and my husband gets the camera, my son gets the camera. And that's what I like about this doctor too. He was very open to having my family there and to making it a a memorable experience. He was the one that actually said, get your phones out, like these are the first pictures of the baby, you're going to want to capture this. It was super exciting. So he goes in, puts the gel on my belly, so we start seeing the baby, and he's like, yep, there we go, one baby. And I'm telling you, technology has definitely changed within 8 years, because my last sonogram, I do not remember seeing my son that clear. And it was just amazing. I mean, you could see the head, you can see the feet, you can see hands, and it's amazing. And it was so reassuring to actually see that the baby was there. So he checked all inside, make sure I had healthy ovaries, everything was in the right spot. The baby's heart rate was normal, and the baby even started moving. He was like, oh, I think we woke the baby up, and you can see the hands like moving, and then the feet were like kicking. It's so cool. And I'm like, I did not see this the first time, so I'm really excited. I'm glad we got that footage. I'm going to show you guys for sure. And just to see my son's eyes light up and a big smile on his face to see his sibling for the first time, like he thought it was just the coolest thing ever. So I'm really glad we made that decision to bring him along, because I kind of was going back and forth a little bit about whether or not we should bring our son, just because until you actually do the ultrasound, you see that it's a healthy pregnancy, you hear the heartbeat, something could be wrong. And you know, it would kind of be a tough situation where it wasn't a healthy pregnancy or something went wrong and my son was there and he had to hear that. So I'm just really happy that everything was so positive. We have a healthy baby now. We don't know the gender yet. We are going to do the genetic test, like I said, in 2 weeks. And with the genetic test, you actually get the gender as well. Now, I asked the doctor about how soon you would know about the gender. He said it takes about a month. So that kind of bummed me out, because I was thinking I was going to go for the genetic test and know that day whether I was having a boy or a girl, but I'm not. So now we're thinking about going to do a 3D ultrasound. But now I looked it up this morning. They have HD ultrasounds now, and the pictures are way clearer. And there's one right in town, so we might be doing that at about 13 to 14 weeks. So that's only on like 3 or 4 weeks. Eee! So stay tuned if you want to see that. So now I'm scheduled for the genetic test in 2 weeks, and then a month from that I go back in and I have my second prenatal care appointment where we're going to do another sonogram. And they said that since I'm older, they want to check me out every month. So every 4 weeks I'm going to be coming in until we pass that. I think it's when we pass the 20 weeks mark where the risk for miscarriage goes down drastically. So I'll keep you guys updated. Till next time.